Do you have a perfect memory? Well, if you don't, then how do you remember all the things that you read and not only remember, but also apply? So I had a very similar problem when I was reading books, and 3 months later, I couldn't really talk about it because all those ideas have already left my mind. So that's why I started to be a little bit more organized with my note taking and kind of build it around a system, which is the system that I'd like today to present to you guys. So here you see the holistic pyramid, and in a way we have the index and my knowledge base and then the 10 different areas which you can observe here. So we're going to start with the index and then look at the knowledge and then only look at like 1 or 2 areas. So this should give you a rough estimate to see how I'm working with that. So the index I find very important because it allows you to go through the different areas, sub-areas and categories. So in a way, this is how everything is structured. Every area has 3 sub-areas and every sub-area has 3 categories. This is true for all the areas, as you see here. And they are also hyperlinked. So I can just click on them, and in a way it is just a very smart table of contents. Also, this is one way to do that, but there's also this index at the bottom here. So this is essentially the same thing. Whether you click here on body or here on like health, you'll still come out at the same place. But this was something that is very important to me, that there are multiple ways to do the same thing and come to the same goal. So let's actually take a look at the system of education. So if this loads, we can see here. So it automatically highlighted the system. And as you see, I have a few background colors and I actually prefer the dark version. So let me switch with the Command Shift L on Mac and Control on Windows. So now I just prefer the dark version because the colors tend to pop a little bit more. But you already see the organizational structure. So we have the category underneath the sub area, and when we scroll all the way at the bottom and we can close the index again, we see, oh, okay, this is the mind. But I wanted to just quickly show you the rough, layers. And in a way, those are layers. So we are currently in the category systems, and now we dive deeper into the education across time and then future education. And here we go. Here most of the content starts to emerge already. So we can already observe, oh, this is from the book Moonshot, and it actually links to that book, which we will look in just a second. But before, we have another hierarchy in here. So this kind of goes to the education targets, for example, or the vision. And you can just clap or like open those toggles as you wish. And this also allows you to just look at the things that you actually want to look at without having like everything open and it being super overwhelming. So in a way, this is how it's organized. And now we'll actually go to the Moonshot book summary. So here you see future education is already open because we just opened that. And by the way, this is also like super free to use, and you will see it exactly like here because I'm currently in a private browser. So this is literally your view, which you can access. So here you have the moonshots. I have a few columns, which tells you, oh, okay, this is part of the purpose area. So this may be a little bit confusing because we just came from mind. I was like, yeah, but some books talk about more than one area of expertise. So Moonshot talked about also health. So here we can observe, okay, this talks about like health over profit. So like how the health system is supposed to be built. So this would be observable in the body area. But now we're currently at the future of education, and you see this. So this is the current state on like a summary or structured summary, you could say, that I wrote some time ago. So I read the book at around 2019. So this is one of the older summaries. Let's actually take a look at one of the newer ones. And for that, we can observe the breadcrumbs up here. So currently we are in moonshots, and now we just move up one hierarchy above to knowledge. And actually, let's move one up to also knowledge. So in a way, the database, and like you don't need to completely understand this, is hidden underneath here, the source. So this is what we just saw. I just prefer to like look at the things in the linked database. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry, you don't have to. It's just like a way to explain the general concepts. But as you see here are all the books that are not yet converted in towards the main thing. But I took the freedom to check out, to already do that with How to Avoid a Climate Disaster by Bill Gates. So let's open this up, and you can see how more current summaries kind of look like. So here we have the summaries that I just take down while reading the book. So these are a little bit more unstructured. And underneath here we have an actual, so these would be my notes, and this is the summary. And here you can already observe, oh, this looks like in the previous document. So here the current climate situation, the goal 50 billion to zero. So this talks about the carbon emission, and you can just like go in there, and there are even like some hyperlinks that you can click on. And in general, it links back to How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. But if we click that, nothing happens because we're already here. So for example, if you wanted to see, okay, what is more about climate change, you would go to, and like there are multiple ways to do that again. Let me show you just a few. One, for example, would be to go over the area up here. Another would be to go to the holistic tower where we kind of started off. But let me show you another way. And this also serves as a preview view for one of the future videos. So let's click on here and go to the family page, and then actually to nature. So now we are in nature, and there it is, environment, and we can open up the climate change here and see, okay, this is actually from a different book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. So we could take a look at the book now, or just kind of go through this. And here you already see, oh, this is the thing we just read. So it's literally the same kind of content. So you can just decide whether you want to read the summary of a book and go through like book by book by book, or if you want, you can also go through it with like the different areas of expertise. So yeah, here we are kind of in family, and this is one of the areas that are not as populated because most of my knowledge is more just like, I don't know, family is just something that happens, and I haven't read as many books about it, especially since like if we look at parenting, like there are a few, but this is just not a priority of mine right now. So I assume this will populate over time. And here we also have the index again, and we could like jump into all the different areas, but let's actually go to knowledge again. And yes, it's like the same thing. So there's also another way I wanted to show, or like another thing I wanted to show here, which is the difference between the tables. So currently we are at the to be added, and this is kind of the preview on the things that have to still be added, things that are already structured, things that I have already summarized. So I just summarized 1,000 brains. And also, and I literally just started Karma, which is like always right here next to me, the book that I'm currently reading. And in a way, those are the books that are also coming and the programs that I still want to do. If we want to take a look at all the books that I have already kind of done, we can switch to the gallery view here. And here we have all the different areas and the toggles, and the pictures take a bit to load, but I think that's all right. You also have like a rating, and by the way, the rating is like my personal like viewpoint on those things, and depending on when I read the book, I sometimes gave it a worse grade because I knew most things already. So this is how the whole concept is designed. If you're interested in reading through a bunch of information, either because you would like to have a quick overview on a specific book or area, then you can take either the overview or dive as deep as you want with the holistic pyramid. If you are interested in learning through something like a more discussion way, then you can check out the holistic auditive learning, where we will discuss all those different topics. We won't be able to dive quite as deep, but you will still have a very good overview, and it's a little bit more educational because we combine it with different stories from my life as well as from fictional stories. So if you're interested in that, go check out the podcast. Again, it will be launching today and in the following days. So the link for that is also down in the description. And if you are generally interested in supporting this channel, there's also coming a Discord, and you can also check out the Patreon. It really helps us so much, and it will continuously help with improving this content. So I hope you found this productive, educational, and entertaining, and I will see you at the next level. Bye bye.